Troops, here we are, we're live. We've got another awesome guest. She's probably the most robust farmer in the UK, and she's probably beaten you on a fan dance event. It's the awesome Claire Moreton. Hi Claire, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm surviving, Claire. I've got loads of hand sanitizer, anti-back wipes, and I'm now enforcing social distancing. So
I've got something that deals with that in all one foul swoop.
What's
it's
that?
Cow shit.
Yeah, yeah. You're the master at social distancing. What do you do? Just drive around in your muck spreader like that? Yep, sorted. Stay away from me.
Oh no, drive, roll, kind of. I walk through it and then just roll around. It's perfect.
Class. Claire, I first met you on the 22 push-ups, 22k, 22 pound event, which was an awesome day, wasn't it? And I remember you, and I'll tell the story that the first time I sort of met you, we were sort of maybe 10, 15 k's into it, and you were chucking up in the side of the road, and I was like, fucking hell, fair play. And then you cracked on. It was like being back on CEO's PT with blokes being sick all over the place and then still cracking on.
Yeah.
Where does that sort of robustness from you come from? Is it from your farming background?
Yeah, it's got to be the farming, because like every day, however you feel, you just got to get up, get on with it. No one else is going to feed the animals.
Wow.
It's like having kids permanently. You never get a day off. At least I don't have to change nappies, but I do a lot of shit shoveling. Sorry about my language.
No, you can swear on here, mate. There's absolutely no problem with that. It's all part of it. So that's a great point. And in the current climate, I don't know if you have other people with you on the farm, but if you was to get COVID-19, who's gonna? Do you know what I mean? Who's gonna tend the herd?
Well, luckily it is a family farm, so I'm here with my parents. But cool. My mum's 70 this year. She's on immune suppressants because she's got rheumatoid arthritis. So right. She's technically meant to be in quarantine. Well, right. I'd like to stick her in a small box and just leave her there. But right. And then Dad, again, he's 69 this year. So I do have people about. But no, if I go down with it, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Fucking hell. And that's a scary part now, isn't it? Because, you know, if anyone follows you on Instagram, you're out all the time, aren't you? You know, farming. You've got dairy cows.
Yes, yeah. We're and quite a large dairy farm. Yeah. I'm responsible for rearing the young stock, so up until 2 years old.
Wow.
Dad and I deal with that, so we've got about 250 of those down here. And then once they hit 2 and have their first calf, they go into the milking herd, which there's another guy who looks after nearly 400. Oh, hi, sorry, I've got Kevin coming.
Yes, he's the cats. The cats are.
I got Edmund there. It's like, oh God.
So we got a French. Is that a French bulldog?
Yeah, French bulldog.
Yeah, and then
a farm cat called Kevin.
Farm cat called Kevin. Is Kevin I see rodent control, is he?
Yes, yeah, he's very good at it as well.
Is he? Yeah. There's always a big old farm cat somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cheers for that. Thanks for that, Kevin. Thanks for the intro. Look, from me, I've got a lot of friends who are farmers, so I know how hard it is, and I think a lot of people from outside of that world they don't really understand. So from me, big thank you, because if there was no milk in the world, I think I'd call it a day.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know what vegans live off. I'm just kind of like, cow's milk is the best, and straight from the cow.
Like just probably 2 weeks ago, when we were sort of moving into this Corona madness, I went into the supermarket and there was no milk left. Like there wasn't a drop, and I was like, right, what's going on here? And I said to the woman, is there any more milk? And she went, we've got almond milk. And I was like, fuck almond milk. I'm like, almond milk? I was like, nah, negative. I was like, if it hasn't come from a cow, I'm not drinking it. I was like, how would you milk an almond? How would you milk a coconut? I've seen it all now.
Yeah. Well, it's their tears.
Yeah, it's just... No. So, you put some great Instagram videos up, and obviously, like the things with the cows. A lot of people are scared of cows. So
Yeah.
have you got any like cow stories, or like how to deal with herds of cows? Because people come out with me, and we'll go through a field, and I'd say it's mainly beef cattle, and they can be quite like I suppose if you want to say the word intimidating. I don't, because I fought the Taliban twice, so I don't really think it's that intimidating. I don't think it's that intimidating, but I get it. I have been chased by a herd before, but I had a good PFT, so I was all right. So
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you're not the slowest man, you're fine.
Right. Okay. How do you sort of, you seem to have like this great rapport with them, like you have all these like cow selfies and that. Do they just sort of see you as like the mother herd or something like the...
Well, yeah, you definitely have the characters.
Right.
And it tends to be the same kind of few that I always take the selfies with, because they become real pets. It's like Pig, the cow called Pig.
Yeah, right.
She's just a menace, and she has no fear, and she just wants cuddles the whole time. So it starts from a very young age. They all have their own personality, so it's a bit like humans. You've got the outgoing ones, you've got the timid ones, and then but just the annoying ones that really want cuddles become the pets.
Right. And what's your sort of I want to say like interaction with them? Are you with them quite a lot, or have you got set times all the time?
Well, every day. We feed them in the morning, so at that stage, kind of, we go out and check them, and then, as I say, the pet ones get a little cuddle and stroke. Then we feed them. They get bedded up every other day, so clean straw put out. And at that time, we're moving them in and out of the shed, so they get a lot more handling then as well. And that's all over the winter. The summer, it's a lot more kind of natural for them, in the sense that there is less interaction. They're out in the field, so we go out and check them. But as I say, still the friendly ones will come up to you, and they want their cuddles. They miss their cuddles.
That's amazing. And how would you say, have you seen an extra demand on dairy now with all this madness going on? Or is it the same sort of work-life routine for you?
It's kind of, because we're still separated from the actual consumer. I suppose it is just same day to day for us. But I know my sister-in-law, she actually processes her own milk and sells it direct to the customer. She's definitely seen an increase, because she supplies local shops, and people are tending to go back a little bit more local. And she's just started doing her own kefir. And that she can post out and do home delivery. So there's definitely there's more thinking about local, and I've seen just on social media people are going back to the old milkman. So hopefully that's good.
I think this whole process will take us back a little bit, and we've got a great dairy farm where I live called Acorn Dairy, and they do like a whole different range of milks, and the local coffee shop where I go to, they've got like a barista milk for the lattes. So it's slightly, however it's sort of messed with or treated, or whatever the right word may be. I try it all the time to buy Acorn Dairy stuff. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if I'm in the supermarket and I need milk, then I buy milk. But I've recently just gone back on full fat. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like a right beefer.
No, stay on full fat the whole way.
Right? Do you know why? What's the reasoning?
Dairy fats are so good for you. They really are, and especially like there is a general trend these days that you're looking for the grass fed, and especially if you buy organic, that's going to be a higher percentage grass fed. And there is well documented, and it is actually scientific proof that animals that are fed a high percentage grass diet, so sheep, cows, they put omega-3 into their fats.
Wow.
Yeah, as much as salmon. If you get pure grass-fed beef,
Wow.
yeah, the fat is actually as high in omega-3 as salmon.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah,
that's amazing. That, hey, there
yeah,
you go, ladies and gents. You learn. This is knowledge now. This
yeah.
is good. I never knew that. That's great. And is that what you sort of feed your herd on? Is it predominantly grass and then
Grass.
supplement? Do you ever use
Yeah.
any? Is it like a supplement feed?
Yeah, there's they will feed. We actually use a lot of soya husks. So kind of the human food chain requires the bean of the soya,
Yeah.
but the agricultural industry takes the waste product from
Right. Cool.
the human food chain and then use it as a feed, because you can also use brewer's mash.
Right.
So the wheat that and barley that's left over from brewing, that can get fed to animals as well. And so yeah,
I feel like the agricultural industry as a whole is much better at recycling itself. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
finding uses for all of its sort of waste, and everything sort of always gets, you know, and then the day if it's shit, it can go in the field, can it? Do you know what I mean?
exactly. That's one of the things with like this carbon cycle. They always say
Yeah.
that a cow produces so much methane and
Yeah.
it's such a nitrogen depletion, but actually we put that shit back on the ground.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't just let it disappear off or put it into the seas. We put
Yeah.
it back in the ground. So yeah, no, it's always about that, and also machinery.
Yeah.
We've got old things that we just keep patching up. And
Yeah, and
making
repairing.
do.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. So when you milk the cows, it goes obviously into like a tank, and then it goes
Yeah.
away to be treated, because obviously we don't drink the raw milk straight away, do we? Like,
No.
so that's another industry in itself. So who comes and collects? Like, have you got like a tanker company that comes and collects you?
Well, yeah, there's we have a contract. We're actually contracted to Muller.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cracking yogurts.
Yeah, and yeah, it's Muller Wiseman, so Wiseman Milk, and so
Yeah.
they will then employ a logistics company which has the tankers to pick up the milk.
Awesome.
And yeah, it is the people like Muller and Cadbury's. They're the ones that do all the processing and make the money, really.
Yeah. Well, it's that's great, Claire. That's a great insight into that world. Very, very small insight into the world. Now, your second, well, I don't want to say your second love, but you are a fan of a horse, and you are on horses quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've never ridden a horse, and it to be honest with you, it kind of terrifies me. So, what's it like? Like, how many horses have you got? And I know you compete with them, don't you?
Yeah. We are now. Oh, we've just had a foal, so we're now at 11.
Nice. Wow,
yeah.
11. Wow.
Yeah. Mum and I, for all our sins, breed them. So,
Wow.
yeah, we go all the way through from a youngster, and then when they get to about 3 or 4, I start doing all the work with them and getting them ridden and competing them. And well, some we sell. It's not a business. I like them too much. I end up keeping them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an amazing thing, especially doing all the work myself and seeing them, I say, from day one up to all the way through.
And how much, like, obviously looking after the cows, then looking after horses, this must be like absolutely time wise, it must be really hard for you to sort of have any personal time. So what sort of, if you've got 11 horses, like how long does it take you to look after a horse, as in to muck it out, feed it, or have you got hands to help as well?
No, Mum helps a little bit.
Right.
I do on 2 days a week. I get a girl to come in to help with the mucking out over the winter. She
Right.
does an hour. But no, it's kind of with the 11, you're looking at about 2.5 hours a day just mucking out, feeding, not riding
Wow.
up any of them on top of that. It is just the basics over the winter.
And horses, like every other living creature, will have a personality. So if you ride a certain horse over another horse, the horses get jealous. Is there any sort of like, is there any of that goes on?
Yeah, I got one horse in particular. He's actually the one above my head there,
Yeah.
that big one.
The jumper, yeah.
Yeah, he basically, he gets jealous all the time.
Really?
It's not really if I'm, well, actually, yeah, I have to ride him first in the day. If I ride someone else, he stands in his stable and he gets really quite pissy.
Wow.
And, yeah, so he gets ridden first. And then if I go and talk to another horse, he gets pissy. He'll come over and bite it. He is basically, yeah, I'm his. He has to let the world know.
Wow. God, that's fair enough. And what fully grown, what's he stand at? Is he a big old bit of kit?
He is huge. He is 178 centimeters.
Oh wow!
Just at the shoulder, and then
Wow.
the head on top. So
is this still Kevin?
Oh yeah, that's Kevin.
Cats. That's fair enough. Wow, it's unbelievable that you keep it all going. And what second to this is obviously your podcast famous for all of the endurance events that you do and all the fitness that you do.
Yeah.
And it's true, mate. And people might say, I don't know, when people say I don't have the time. Well, if you have the time for everything that you do, then I'd love to see what anyone else who says I don't have the time doesn't have the time for. What is it about the endurance events, the fan dance events, that really draws you to that sort of type of event?
It's the people. It really is. And
yeah.
I'm quite a competitive person.
Right.
I was like all the way through school, I was always very sporty and I was a sprinter. But kind of as I've got older, I'm no longer a sprinter, but I'm not a racing snake. I'm not like the ultimate ultra runner, but I've got really strong legs. So I thought, well, kind of, I found my niche. Yeah, exactly. Carrying weight and doing it quite quickly.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'm just going to stick to it. And it really has taken over.
Yeah. And how did you get involved in it? Have you got a tie to the military? Is someone in your family? You obviously haven't, you're not served yourself, have you? So where's the connection come from?
Yeah, there's a little bit. I was meant to go into regulars.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I took my RCB when I was 18,
right.
Because I was going to be a vet in the military.
Oh wow, okay.
And then through university, because I was keyed up to go to vet corps, I did that. God, well, yeah, I know everyone who is a veteran kind of rolls their eyes. I did do OTC.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But I ended up kind of bunking off university a bit more because I was struggling, and just involving myself really with the TA unit, because
right.
It was just the camaraderie and that sense of belonging. And it was a sense of humour I could get. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
They make a cope with my humour. And so, but then, as I say, I didn't end up joining up. I had a stint in my mental health that just deteriorated.
Yeah.
So kind of then life completely changed, came back to the farm. And then a few years ago, 4 years ago, a friend, she's got no military tie either, but she likes to do slightly different running races. She had looked up the fan dance and said, look, it's local. Why don't we go give it a go? And we literally did 6 weeks training and did it. And I kind of went, I did it clean fatigue for a first time.
Yeah.
And we came in first and second in the women. We're like, okay, this is slightly easy. And then I was like, I'm going to try it in the winter the following year. And of course, AE are really good because they absolutely specify your kit list. So I went whole hog, even for clean fatigue. I had every emergency precaution in my rucksack. And it turned out that basically my rucksack was heavy enough that I could have gone loaded.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I still found it easy. So I was like, right, might as well try with weights. And it just kind of went from there.
Right. And I've done a little bit down sort of the Brecon Beacons. I really would like to go and do one of these events. I think it'd be right up my street. What would you say for people who are thinking about doing it, or maybe they look at it and I get this sometimes. Sometimes people look at my stuff and think it's going to be like absolutely horrific, and sometimes it is. But sometimes people see the military thing and think, "Oh God!" As a civilian, I don't know if I know I should really commit to it. What made you just go, "Fuck it, I'm having a crack at that"?
I think I have a little bit of that mentality of nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Awesome.
You've got to put yourself out of your comfort zone and give things a go.
Yeah.
Life is too short just to kind of go, oh, but I don't know. What ifs are just crap. So get on with it. And as I say, it's kind of almost joining in something like with you guys, or I know AE do kind of similar sort of thing in the Lake Districts, and they've done it in Snowdonia. They just do days where people can come along and almost do a bit of a taster, find out what it's like. And you just, they say, everyone is so welcoming. They're not, they don't have any side where they just want to beast you. You end up with a beasting half the time.
No,
but you enjoy it. So yeah, it's those things. Just, I say, give it a go.
Have you got anything? Obviously, whenever COVID-19 fucking revs itself off, have you got anything lined up for this year that you're taking on physical challenge wise, or?
Well, I've had a couple of things already cancelled. So I had just been up to Speen Bridge to do the
I've seen that.
March.
I've seen that. That was awesome. Fucking Speen Bridge. Wow.
Oh, amazing. Like the goose pimples were just, I'd go back next year. And I helped raise a little bit of money for the Pilgrim Bandits charity doing that. Which is, they're a really good charity.
Who's behind that? Is it Helen Barnett, Pilgrim Bandits? Is she affiliated to that?
Yeah, she's affiliated with that. They basically help injured servicemen, whether it's military, police, firemen, etc., that have kind of either like PTSD or physical disability that they've gained in their service, to get out and get involved in outdoor activities. They I think it's this summer they were planning to go. I'm not sure where was it, Scandinavia, but they went to New Zealand kayaking, and so they just draw together, and it's for that mental health side of things. It's really important.
And I'll tell you what, Claire, after this is finished, because it will finish, because everything starts and everything finishes, there'll be a lot of people who will need that release of the outdoors, and will actively be looking for these challenge events, unique weekends away, wild camping, whatever it is. And I do believe the veteran-owned community offers a absolute right crack at some unbelievable days out adventures, trips away, and a lot of the guys are offering not just an event but offer community as well. A lot of them offer community. I know I've got up here in the northeast of England, I've got my Eagles, like I've got like 45, 50 strong of people who are all just absolutely willing to push 10-15% more into an event, and smile and laugh, and sort of, it's funny, I'll get tagged in a post and it'll be something like, when you were thinking about doing a 15 miler, but John Beamston will say, what did you do in the afternoon? It's funny, and it makes me smile, because like you've created this community, and I feel like all these different veteran groups from all over the UK and across the span are creating all these new little subunits of their own sort of mentality, and it's fantastic to see. And me and my partner, we're running a 60 miler this year.
Okay.
So we're in we're in training for that, and I always say to people, you should do one thing a year, either physically, mentally, that challenge you, that really makes you go, if I don't train for this, I am going to look like an absolute dickhead. And that's important. on the veteran side of it, what other veteran brands do you sort of endorse or follow or like? And there's a lot in there. There's so many great ones.
Yeah. I always drink Dead Mammoth coffee. We got a sample when we did our 22 charity thing, and so I kind of, I mainly stick with him because he does a subscription and he does the coffee bag. So when I'm out and about with my flask, I can have decent coffee on the go.
I've seen his stuff around. What's his background? Is he a tanky? Was he a?
He's a para.
Oh, para. Apologise. Yeah. No airborne. No airborne tanks.
He's gonna kill you for that.
Maybe I didn't know that he was a para. I was just chucking it out there. No, it's great. There's loads of veteran-owned coffees. I had Russ on from Greenbrier Coffee a few weeks ago, and that's what I drink. And he kindly just donated a bag to the guys who are on Op Restrict at the moment.
I saw that. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Because we were drinking fucking Maxwell House, and I was like, I ain't drinking no Maxwell House. Get Russ on the phone. Get it sorted out. But as well, like, there's loads of great apparel companies as well as now. I mean, I like Red Coat Apparel. Alex is a good mate of mine, and he's not too far from me, so I'm always wearing his apparel stuff. Who do you wear? I've seen you wear a few. H4K, is it?
HR4K. Ben really kindly last year when I did Britain's Fittest Farmer competition. He
fucking hell. Wow.
He sponsored me with a pair of shorts and a vest top, and kind of kitted me out. And that's a great space to go and kind of train and chill out and just kind of have these. Really, he gets he tries to tell me that I'm drinking the wrong coffee, but I'll drink any decent coffee.
It's fair enough. Look, Claire, we're rattling through it, and I really appreciate your time. I know you're probably the second busiest person after Boris Johnson in the UK right now. So how robust is Boris Johnson fucking getting COVID-19? Fucking hell, he's there.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I remember seeing the headline. I was like, bloody hell, Boris, he's got all in here, hasn't he? Jesus Christ. He'll get his own T-shirt for that. I know that much. So we're going to sort of start the close down a little bit with the 5 watts. Now, people listen to the show normally, it's a different 5 watts, but this is sort of a COVID-19 special 5 watts. So the first one, what does your day look like?
The alarm goes off at 3:15 in the morning.
Yeah, everyone's a winner.
This morning, I actually had this morning off, so I'm dreading tomorrow because that will technically be 2:15 in the morning.
Oh yeah, it will be, won't it?
But kind of working through till 10, 11ish, dealing with the cows milking. Then I'm trying to take, especially at the moment, trying to take the dogs out for a little run over lunchtime.
Yeah.
Because I got this little Frenchie to do canicross with. He's so cute. And then afternoon is kind of more probably out in the fields at the moment because it's sunny, in the tractor, listening to some tunes, and then horses come the early evening, and then last thing in the evening I'm an evening exercise person, so I've always gone for longer runs in the evening or do some sort of workout or teach a spin class.
So you're pushing what, a 15+ hour day every day?
Yeah, most days. Yeah.
Fair play. I wish you all the wealth and happiness and success, because anyone who's willing to put them sort of hours in deserves absolutely everything. The second one, mate. What workouts are you doing currently with the gyms being closed and all of that sort of stuff? How are you keeping yourself ticking over?
Shoveling shit. That's a good workout.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by so many people though on social media, just all of them kind of finding whatever they can to get on with stuff. Brian Tinker, Tinks,
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he was my travel buddy up to Speen Bridge. He posted a hideous one in his Union Jack shorts last night because he's training to do this Kokora seal fit
Wow.
stuff. So
Good luck, Brian. Fucking hell.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of, at the moment it has to be body weight exercises. So I'm just almost trawling social media, finding one that I think, yeah, I can do that.
Just keep posted, because me and my mate, we've come up with this fucking mega idea, which I'm going to post literally after this podcast. It's running based, but people are going to fucking wet the pants. They're going to love it. It's proper naughty. So we'll move on to the third one. What have you started? What have you started anything new with this lockdown? I suppose your day hasn't really changed, does it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you haven't.
No.
It's still Monday to you. Like, we're all living in this fucking paradox universe. I was down Asda yesterday, and I thought a Master Blaster was going to turn up from. Do you know what I mean? I was like, any minute now, I'm going to have to fight someone in a dome for this bread. Oh, well, it's fair enough if you haven't. Well, that's fair enough if you haven't started anything. What have you stopped? Stopped going to the gym? Stopped going to the cinema? Bars?
Yeah, stop going to the gym because I used to teach a spin class on a Tuesday night. So that's
fucking love spin. I love spin. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's the one thing that keeps me hill fit is my spin class.
Yeah, 100%.
And the biggest killer is actually socialising with my best mate on the farm. I work with her, and kind of, we're just being sensible. Kind of, I don't go and sit and chat with her anymore. That sucks, but that's what phones are for, I suppose. Yeah,
it's a hard one. I just found out last night my best mate, his wife's a staff nurse, and she's come down with COVID-19.
Oh, sugar!
And now obviously he's suspected of having it, and and they've got like a newbornish baby, and I'm like, fucking hell, dude.
Oh,
that
God.
is, and how many other people must be in that boat right now? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and I was the same 2 weeks ago. I was like, fucking stay your mind. But it's changed. It's changed, and I am 100% on brand with COVID-19 being fucking absolutely brutal. Fifth and final one, mate. What's the first thing you're going to do after lockdown is over? And I kind of feel like I know what you're going to say here.
Well, apart from reignite my Tinder account.
How the fuck do you find time for Tinder?
There's always time for Tinder.
Fair enough.
Get out in the hills. Just kind of go. I want to go up to Snowdonia first. That will be my. Brecken's on the doorstep, but it's Snowdonia. I want to get back there.
Is that your favourite out of everywhere you've been? Is that your favourite place?
No, absolutely. Fort William, Speen Bridge. Yeah, that's that really stole my heart those couple of weeks ago. So.
Scotland is stunning. It's a magical place, and I wonder if we are in lockdown for sort of 3 weeks, 21 days, 30 days. All I can imagine is not having any human beings in the hills. I think the hills will be recovering. Do you know what I mean? Maybe Mother Nature needs this respite from us. You know, not driving our cars around all the time, not smashing all the paths up and going. You know, I think it'll be. We should definitely learn from this. If we don't, the next time it comes around, we might not be so lucky to get through it. Look, Claire, where can people find you if you want them to find you?
If they really want to kind of follow me on Instagram, I'm not exactly that inspiring, but they can find me at Lady Claire 84.
Right.
Yeah, or Lady by Name, Not by Nature in a hashtag.
Hey, it's fair enough. Brilliant, Claire. Look, it's been ace talking to you, mate. I really appreciate your time, and thanks to you and all the farmers out there, because you always have been, but you really are keeping the country fed, milked, and you know, while we all just doss it and watch Disney Plus, you lot are all still getting up at 2:15, 3:15 and putting in 15-hour shifts. So from that, for me, big fucking thanks very much. It's much appreciated, and thanks very much for coming on the podcast, mate. I'll catch you soon, okay?
No problem. Yeah,
cheers,
brilliant.
Mate.
Thanks very
Bye-bye,
much.
mate.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.